whatever happens, happens. So pretty much I went to my barber today to go get a haircut. So the barber shop I go to does walk-ins. So basically you can just walk in. Right? They'll help you out pretty much. Pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, you can still make appointments and stuff. Most of the guys there actually only do appointments. But the one guy I usually go to only does walk-ins. So he does me good, so I walk in all the time. And when I walked in, there was a couple people ahead of me, so I waited my turn, of course. I waited like, it wasn't too long of a wait, it was like half an hour. And like right before I go up, there's another guy who comes in and is like, hey, are you doing walk-ins today? Yeah, my barber's like, no, sorry, I'm not doing any more walk-ins today. You know, like this kid's gonna be my last one, you know, referring to me. So anyway, I go up, and he's like, yeah, I'm just not really feeling super well today. I was like, oh, what's going on? So he's like, man, just my stomach is just killing me. Like, I've got like terrible nausea. I've just been having a load of problems. I'm like, oh shoot. Like, why do you think you're having all these problems? He's like, oh, I had intestinal surgery a while ago, and it could just be related to that. So anyway, he's telling me like he's trying to get in with his doctor, and ended up having to go into the ER. And he's like, man, I hate going to the ER because every time I go to the ER, they tell me I have a load of other problems. So anyway, he's like, yeah, I ended up having to go into the ER anyway, and of course they told me I have a load of other problems. Like, I've never been to the ER myself, but it doesn't sound like a great place to go. But anyway, yeah, so I guess in the ER they say that he's potentially is getting cancer in his bladder. Like, so yeah, something like that. Cancer in his bladder. Like, that's kind of interesting. Interesting place to get cancer, but you know, it could be. He was like, yeah, it's probably related to my surgery, which is like, yeah, I understand that. But anyway, I'm like, oh man, that really sucks. Like, I hope you get better. He was like, you know, thanks, man. Like, I hope I do too, but I feel like at this point, you know, whatever happens, happens. I've just learned to accept that. And I was like, dang, dude, that's a really good way of looking at things. That's the way I try to look at life too. I kind of feel like, you know, I'm gonna do my thing. Just whatever happens, happens. Yeah, and I was telling him that. I was like, you know, that's kind of like how I am too. Like, I don't know. I'm not like someone who like overreacts too much about stuff. Like, I think I'm a pretty like chill kind of guy, especially when it comes to like in terrible news or something. I'm like, oh, you know, okay, whatever. Like, it sucks, like, obviously, but it's like, it's not the end of the world, right? From my experience, there's a lot of people who definitely overreact. But I think that I would be looked at as someone who underreacts. But I kind of see it as more just like a positive outlook, because it's kind of just like accepting the reality instead of trying to avoid it. Like, I sometimes, you know, it's like a, what is it called? Like a, like denial? Like you might be in like denial. I know what I want to say, I just can't put it into words. Like, yeah, say something bad happens, right? And it's just like such, to you, you know, it might be like such a terrible thing that like you just don't want to believe it's true, right? Like, that's, you're just denying the facts, right? But I feel like if you look at it like, oh well, you know, like, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I think it's just better to just accept certain things like that. Like, denial is not a great way to go about things. Like, especially if, like, my main experience with denial is through, like, relationships, right? Like, you just don't want to believe that, like, somebody, like, something's true, that, like, you know, whoever you're in a relationship with would, like, do something like that, right? Friendship or, like, you know, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Like, I was definitely one of those people that didn't want to accept that, like, my girlfriend would do something, like, terrible like that. Which, you know, I probably should have, because that ended up putting me in a terrible relationship for a good couple years. So, but, you know, lessons learned. It's better just to accept it rather than try to deny it or just say that's not real just to make yourself feel better. And that, I think that applies to all parts of life too. Like, I don't think there's any part of life where it's not better to just accept the truth. Like, I feel like I would rather know the truth, right? Like, I hate it when people lie. Like, I feel like there's just no point in just not telling the truth. You could argue like, oh, you know, the person's just trying to whatever, like, protect you or whatever. And it's like, dude, I don't care, bro. I'd rather know like what's actually going on. It's like, I don't care, bro. Like, I just want to know. Like, I feel like there's no excuse for honesty, right? Like, I don't care who you're talking to. Like, you should just always be honest. Unless your teacher's like confronting you about using AI on an assignment, be like, no. Other than that, that's the only circumstance. That's the only reasonable explanation for lying. That's really the only thing well, actually, I don't think any of my teachers have confronted me about using AI, so can't even say I've lied about it. So what can I say? I'm just a truthful guy myself. No, I've told my fair share of lies in my time. Like, I'm sure I have. Like, everybody does. There's just some people who like to do it more than others, we could say. And I don't like those people. These people are not very cool, you know? But yeah, anyway, what was I talking about? I don't even remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I went on a bit of a side tangent there. I guess what I was trying to say is, like, just accepting whatever happens is kind of just being, like, truthful to yourself in a way. And just not, like, overly stressing yourself out about something. It's just good, just for everything, just for, like, well-being. And, like, stress is pretty much, like, it's almost never good. Stress is a really good motivator, though. In that case, it's good. Other than that, though, like, you don't really want to be stressed about anything. Like, unnecessary stress is bad. I feel like if you really think about it, stress is only, like, really a thing as, like, a survival instinct, which makes sense why it's a good motivator. Because, say, like, there's a lion hunting you down, you're like, oh shoot, I'm gonna die. Like, yeah, you're gonna be pretty stressed about that. Like, I don't know about you, but, like, I'd be stressed out, man. But there's a lot of people who have, like, severe anxiety, like, these days, which is kind of crazy to me, because I've never really been someone who's super anxious. What am I saying? Anxious. I've never been someone who's been super anxious about anything. Like, the most anxious I've been is for, like, sporting events, and that's like, I'm like anxious, like excited, like I'm hyped, you know, like I'm like, oh yeah, let's do this. I'm not like anxious, like nervous, I guess. I mean, I can't even describe like how people with anxiety feel, because I don't, you know, I don't really have anxiety. I don't know what they're anxious about. Like, I know there's some people that just, you know, are overly anxious. And it's probably, like, I imagine, like, there's a lot of people that are overly anxious because, like, if you think about it, you know, back in the old days, we had to, like, actually survive and fend for ourselves. Like, being someone who's overly anxious might actually be good, because then you're, like, always remembering to be, like, super aware of your surroundings, you know, make sure you don't die, right? Like, nowadays, you know, there's a lot less to be anxious about. So the people who have overactive, like, I don't know, anxiety parts in their brain, I don't know, who have more above average anxiety, you could say, above average anxiety levels. Like, it's kind of just more of a disadvantage for them in the current day and age, because, you know, you're not going to get chances of you getting hunted down by, like, a bear or something is much slimmer. Like, you always have access to food, you always have access to water. Like, there's not really any predators that are gonna hunt you down. Like you're chilling. And humans just haven't evolved. You know, life has only really become like this in the past, I don't know, a few hundred years. So we haven't really evolved to adjust to that yet, which is just kind of interesting. But yeah, don't cause yourself, basically what I'm trying to say is don't cause yourself more anxiety than you need, because most of the time you probably don't have you don't have a real reason to be anxious. You know, anxiety is bad for you, man, bad for your heart. Like, You know, your heart's gonna explode. It's just like drinking like caffeine every day, bro. Which, like, I swear everybody drinks caffeine, dude. It's crazy. The Red Bull and White Monster epidemic is is absolutely crazy. I don't drink any caffeine. I don't want to rely on caffeine for energy, right? I don't want my body to rely on caffeine to function every day. And also, like, caffeine addiction is like bad, dude. Like, trying to get over caffeine addiction. Like, I've had some friends that who had like pretty bad caffeine addiction, and then like tried to like cut back and were just like completely out of it for like days, and it's like throwing up, like can't even do anything like out of it. Like, it was bad. So after like seeing that, like I was like, heck no. But I used to drink caffeine a little bit when I was younger, just like sweet tea. I never really drank energy drinks. I had like one sip of an energy drink like once, actually like a couple times, but every single time it's just like too sweet, and it just like, it tastes so just like sugary and fake, in my opinion. Like, I just think it tastes terrible. I also don't like candy and stuff too, because it's like just super sweet. So I get there's a lot of people who do like sweet stuff like that. So, you know, if you're someone that really likes the sweet stuff, you know, like, you know, have at it. But just the caffeine is just not good for you. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Oh wow, that's embarrassing. Yeah, I think there's much better ways to get energy in the day than drinking caffeine. Like, just getting a good night's sleep is so good. That's another thing, like, so many people that just have terrible sleep schedules. And that's like one of the main reasons why your body's probably tired all the time. If you don't have a good consistent sleep schedule, like, you're gonna be tired all the time. Like, you don't even have to sleep that long. As long as you maintain a good sleep schedule, your body's gonna have a lot more energy in general, which is good. Like, more energy is good, and it replaces the need for like Red Bull. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of sugary drinks out there that probably taste just as fine as Red Bull, but I don't know. I think it's just, maybe it's just mostly the caffeine, maybe it's the taste. I don't know why people like it so much. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, I guess. I guess if you drink Red Bull every day, then you are you are literally accepting, you know, the fact that whatever happens happens. So, and that's pretty much what I've been talking about. So, hey, you know, good for you. You're accepting that you're probably gonna die to heart disease when you're like 30. So, you know, maybe. You know, applause to you, but that's terrible, bro. I'm gonna get flamed, but okay. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, whatever happens, happens. Just try to learn to accept it and not avoid it. And also don't don't overreact to stuff, you know. Oh yeah, another thing is like the news, like news stories of like people dying in, like, say like a car crash, right? Say like, oh, like on the news it'll say like, you know, 3 people died in a car crash, right? And it's like, people die like every day. Like, there's like thousands upon thousands of people that die every day, right? How come these 3 people are so special? And then it's like, they like play it up so much, and then they like make the audiences like completely like overreact, which I just think is terrible. Like, I don't ever really watch news, but, you know, when I do watch news, it's just kind of like, man, like, what are these stories are just terrible. You know, like, whoever I'm watching it with will be like, oh my gosh, it's so terrible, like, I feel so sorry for them. Like, I mean, yeah, it is terrible, like, don't get me wrong, like, it's not a good thing, but it's just like, people die, like, every day, man. Like, it's just how life goes. Like, you're not gonna live forever. Like, even if you didn't die to old age, like, if nobody died to old age, there would still be many people who die every day. But yeah, that's just one example I could think of. But dude, I forgot what I was talking about again. Oh yeah, whatever happens, happens. The sooner you learn to accept it, the happier you'll be in life.